The Dalmatian. We were installing new pipes underneath this old warehouse. It was a usual job that kept the company busy all year. Go in and replace the aged pipes before they broke. And as soon as we're done with one set, we'll have to move on to the next. This job was no different, except that I saw whatever it was that I saw. While underneath, breaking up the old rusted pipes, we could hear this faint dog whimpering echoing from down the hole I was in. Now, it's not the first time where we had an animal or a homeless person found in tunnels. Either an animal made its home down here away from the streets. Usually, we had to get animal control to take it to a shelter, or if it was too wounded, to be put to sleep. And with homeless people, call the police to have them taken to the nearest shelter, because it's very easy to get injured down here, or to damage the pipes. I shuffled myself towards the sound to see if any animal was hurt or in danger. I stopped to hear this crawl shuffling similar to mine but quicker. I shined my light dead ahead, and well, I'm now afraid of closed spaces and holes. This was the experience of a subway construction worker, Amir Farhan, who was lucky to survive his encounter with what is known as the Dalmatian. If it wasn't for Amir using the wrong setting on his light, having turned on the ultraviolet bulb instead of his regular one, well, he wouldn't have made it out of those tunnels. And what is the Dalmatian? Well, in today's world, with modern technology and architecture, the places that anomalous creatures roam have changed. Like animals or people, supernatural beings have evolved and adapted to their surroundings, from caves to rivers and now sewers. The places the unknown roam have always bordered ours, locations that only the foolhardy would ever explore, because dangers lurk in the darkness, always searching, always hungry, waiting for the chance to grab the human in their inhuman grips, trying to feed their abnormal appetite for sentient life. Such is the case with the Dalmatian. Thought to be a variation of a troll, people aren't quite sure how it made the trip from across the Atlantic Ocean to the New World, but it went from haunting deep in the underground caves to random sewer systems in the eastern coastal cities of the United States. Trolls are vicious man-eaters who make forests, mountains and caves their hunting grounds, ones that provide a lot of daytime protection because of a high sensitivity to daylight. Even a few seconds exposure can only necrotize their flesh, melting the creature in a process that leaves a smell that won't fade. So in order to survive during the day, they undergo a process that turns their outer epidermis into a rock-like material, one that can refract sunlight and protect them from it. They're also not the smartest creatures, so it makes it easy to escape from them. This means the population is low and they tend to stick to the general area of northwestern European countries. Usually when budding, a troll will produce an exact copy of itself, only smaller. That copy will go and find a new territory to hunt, as the original will soon grow hostile. Being older and thus stronger, if the younger doesn't vacate, the older will likely just eat them. Occasionally, a troll will bud an abnormal variant, triggered by unusual food consumed. This will grant the newly born troll extra abilities that the parent troll will not share. Often these deviants are able to kill and eat their parent troll with the aid of their unusual ability. This is the case of the Dalmatian. It was born stark white, but with dozens of holes on its body, ones that it can open or close randomly, copy any sound it heard of, or to rapidly consume everything around it, using the holes as secondary mouths. The Dalmatian uses this ability to great effect, often mimicking the sounds of animals or humans in distress in order to draw prey near, where its second ability comes into play. The Dalmatian can fit into any hole it can touch, squeezing a mass of 8, almost 9 foot into a hole with a circumference of 12 inches. And when it fits into a hole, it can make that hole vanish as it calls for help, waiting until something comes to investigate the noise. Where once they're close enough, the Dalmatian will rapidly expand out of the hole, snatching the victim in its power grip. After that, it'll just take a couple of smacks against the nearest wall and a few squeezes to kill what it caught. Then it'll eat its recently killed prey, only to repeat the process over again. It made the Dalmatian a very effective hunter, especially as, unlike other trolls, this variant is able to hide during the day by squeezing itself into the smallest spots to avoid the sunlight, letting it stay active and hunt during the daytime as well. At one point though, the creature vanished from Sweden and appeared in Boston around the late 1800s. And from there, it made similar appearances in New York, Massachusetts, and various other places over the next century. Researchers put together a theory that because transporting trolls across an ocean or on a plane is so dangerous, it wasn't human influence that brought the dangerous creature to America. The best guess is that the creature had an accidental interaction with the fairy gate. A fairy gate is another cave-stroke-underground dwelling creature that, when exposed to silver, has a unique allergic reaction. It'll suck anything in its nearby surroundings in and transport it to another location in the world, where another fairy gate will expel the silver and whatever else was sucked up. Not every one of these have been located, and this has happened with other creatures before this in the past. And being in North America with none of the predators that do hunt trolls, the Dalmatian would have a hunting ground without rivals to compete against, letting the creature thrive and potentially reproduce, something that is a huge worry, because trolls can reproduce with just the one creature as many times as it wants. And with their inherent aggressive behaviors towards other creatures, especially other men, having one nesting and hunting in populated areas is a concern. A rather large one is that the Dalmatian sightings are actually buds the creature has spawned over the years. 2 haven't been noted in different locations yet. So hunting down the Dalmatian and containing it is vital.